Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Niladri Mukherjee and I am a regulated Canadian immigration consultant. I practice in Mississauga, Ontario. A piece of news to share with you, and that is the pilot program called Rural and Northern Immigration Pilot Program has been extended for 2 more years, and now the program is valid till August 2024. Right, so the Minister Sean Fraser has extended this program, keeping in mind the popularity of the program and keeping in mind how the program has been successful over the past 2 years to be able to give more and more permanent residencies to a lot of new immigrants, right? So that's the story part of it. And the government has also said that they have included a couple of new communities, a couple of new areas as a part of the program. Important ones are Thunder Bay, important ones are Timmins, North Bay, Vernon, if I remember a few. And the government has also said that it is making it easier to get job offers available in healthcare sector as well as in the skilled trade sector in those specific communities under the rural and northern immigration program, because those are the most required skill sets in those communities, right? So those of you that do not know what this program is, it is basically a copy paste of Atlantic Immigration Program, which used to be obviously called Atlantic Immigration Pilot Program. So how a pilot program is launched is that they launched a specific program for a duration of 1 or 2 years. They observe how it goes and then eventually they extend it or make it a permanent program similar to Atlantic Immigration Program, right? So you need to have a job offer first in case of this rural and northern immigration program. So that is obviously the crux of the story, that you need to have a job offer. Secondly, you have to have a community nomination from one of the communities that you get a job offer from. So community nomination again is mostly a paperwork, networking kind of a thing. It's not really a huge deal breaker in my opinion, at least, and from experience. Job offer is, because everybody is searching for a job offer and only few are getting a job offer. Hence, I thought to tell you a couple of things which you think, if which you can keep in mind, which you if you could keep in mind those points, I think it will be helpful. First and foremost is that it is understand a conceptual clarity sort of thing, and that is, a lot of people come to me for a consultation and say that, well, I live in metropolitan New Delhi, I live in Mumbai, I live in Dubai, I live in Abu Dhabi, I cannot live in rural Canada, I cannot live in northern Canada. You cannot be further from the truth. For example, I came from India. Even the most rural part in PEI, for example, or the most rural part in Northern Ontario, because I have traveled almost a good part of Canada, if not the whole country, I've traveled a good part of Canada. So I have my personal experience of going to various places as well. So, for example, if you go to the most northern part of PEI or a remote part of Nova Scotia or New Brunswick or even northern part of Ontario, because I have personally been to North Bay, I've been to Timmins, I've been to Thunder Bay, and I have crossed till Manitoba as well. So the definition of rural is very different from your perception about rural. A rural Canada is just a classification based on census, a classification based on population. A country that has a population of 36, 37 million or even 38 million, doesn't matter how much population do you expect in those cities to live in, right? 10,000, 15,000, max 50,000, 100,000. That's not even a fraction of the population that live in maybe Delhi, Mumbai, or Dubai, right? But the infrastructure wise, even the rural most part of Canada will have e- equal infrastructure as compared to any developed part of Canada. So road, safety, security, hospitals, schools, shopping complexes, everything will be same but will be limited. So I'm not saying that you will get as many schools as you get in Toronto. Obviously not, because the population is a fraction of Toronto, but infrastructure wise you will not have any issues. So when you say that I do not want to live in a rural Canada, that is really a misconception, misunderstanding in my opinion. Unless and until you come to Canada and visit those places, visit those communities, your definition of ruralism will not change, probably, in my opinion. So these are not rural areas. This is just a definition from the government's perspective. So one needs to be open to live in anywhere the person is able to get a permanent residency from. That is number one. Secondly, do not share your CVs to random employers over emails. That do not work, at least in 99.9% of the times. Even I receive emails from procurement managers saying that, well, I want to work for your organization, meaning that people are sending me CVs without even knowing who am I. They just saw a couple of my YouTube videos and they have started sharing the CVs. The point is, do not share your personal information over the internet just like that. Those are the factors that lead to potential immigration scams and job offer scams and everything. So how will it work? Apply for a visitor visa. Again, my story in Atlantic immigration, and a lot of my clients have been successful, using that. Apply for a visitor visa if you do not have one. Come to Canada. Talk to me, and I will tell you where to go, how to do those things, and all those things. So there needs to be a proper strategy, and in this whole process, you're not really losing anything because you're at least able to come to a country, experience the country, see how our winter is if you have not experienced that before. Meet people, talk to the employers, see one of those communities at least, and then get a real life experience. If you are looking for a job offer, for example, Thunder Bay, I have been to Thunder Bay, I have seen hiring signs almost everywhere. But this does not mean that if you send a CV from India or a CV from, for example, Abu Dhabi or Addis Ababa, you will get a response because these guys do not even know you, right? These guys do not even know how the LMIA works. These guys do not even know anything about immigration. So sharing CVs is like wasting opportunities, in my opinion. If you're sharing CVs over internet, over emails, randomly, that's like wasting opportunities. You have to have a visitor visa these days, have to come to Canada, have to have a Canadian number. So taking a Canadian number is not really mean that you are sort of deceiving the employer. It really means, it really shows your commitment that, you know what, for example, I live in India, but yes, I have a Canadian number because I want to be approachable. To me, this will show as a part of commitment from your side. Why not? But this is not a misrepresentation by any means, right? So there are a lot of factors that come into play. There are a lot of steps that you need to do, but the very first step will be to come to Canada at least for a month, and then approach those job offers and those job opportunities in person, and then try to get a community nomination. And if you have got a visitor visa, the flag pulling is just about to start. Based on a couple of factors, flag pulling will be possible in the next few months. So that is something that could be worked out as well. But if not anything, you can just go back to the country that you come from after getting the job offer. We can apply for a work permit outside Canada candidate, and then you can come to Canada. And if that employer is a software company or somebody that do not really need you to have working from their office, you can also work starting you can also start the work from home process. I have consulted a client like as latest that yesterday. The client is from India. The person has received 2 job offers from Canadian employers, and one of the employers have actually asked him to start working because the person really loved him, and the employer believed that the person that has the kind of skill sets that the employer needs the most. So why not? So a lot of possibilities could be worked out, but sharing CVs randomly over email will not work. Another most important thing is that we have to open up our mind. I want to live in Toronto. I want to live in Vancouver. My friends live in Mississauga. My cousin lives in Alberta. Forget about all that. You are looking for a permanent residency in probably one of the best countries in the world. So regardless of which province gives you the permanent residency, if you're serious enough, take that. If you get a job offer from the extreme part of Northern Ontario, take that job offer. Do not think how cold it will be. Do not think that you will be blown away by a snowstorm. Nothing of those sort is going to happen, right? We all came from warmer countries and we love Canadian winters. Once you live here for a couple of months, maybe for years, your body will get used to. And we have infrastructures in place. You are not living in like outside in the -20 or -30 degrees Celsius. It doesn't work like that here in Canada. So open up your mind. Do not have this notion that I want to live only in Toronto or Vancouver. You have to explore those areas, as I have been saying for a long time, that where many people do not go. If you land in Toronto, if you stay a night here in Toronto or two maybe, and then you go to North Bay and look for job opportunities there, or if you go to Thunder Bay, or if you go to Timmins, who knows that you may get a job offer, right? So things could work out. The moral of the story is the government believes that, and the government obviously has data to prove, which is why this has been taken as a step, that this program has been extended for those of you that are looking for job offer and come to Canada but could not score enough in the express entry system. This will be definitely one of the fastest way, because a job offer means that government's priority is to get a work permit as soon as possible. It is not going to take a very long time, right? If you get a job offer from a relevant employer, from a valid employer, regardless of the processing time that you see on paper on the IRCC processing timeline, your work permit could have the possibility to get approved way more faster. If you need professional assistance, first step for me would be a professional consultation. Send me an email, contact@nuvonation.ca. Shall be glad to schedule a consultation to see your options. Hope this helps. See you guys in the next one. Bye now.